I love you, Lord, forever.
This is our 4th year to plan art camp. So we've had 3 other years in the past, and it started when we wanted to just do something different. It felt like VBS was just kind of all over the place and too much of the same everywhere. So we really wanted to do something different for our church to draw people in, to encourage people to come and check us out.
We had decided that this would be just a fun activity for the kids at the end of the summer. You know, everything had kind of winded down and the kids just needed something fun to do. We never had any idea where God was going to take this program.
Art camp has been a very interesting experience because I think, unlike most other things we do with the church, we didn't really expect something as simple as doing art to become such a big outreach to the community.
The very first year, we just got an overwhelming response from the kids. They loved it. They wanted it to go on forever. The parents, you know, we got a very positive response from them too, and every year since then we've just felt like it's something God's leading us to do again.
So we started art camp and had 40 students the first year. We kept it because we wanted to be sure we had enough supplies, be sure we had enough teachers and helpers, and the demand was great. It filled and we had waiting lists, and we've had that every year since, but we keep doubling our attendance. Last year we had between 120 and 130 students, and we're hoping to grow to about 200 this year if we can get enough volunteers to help us out.
I think there's a lot of different ways that we've seen God work in this. I mean, just from the kids that are excited to come, being able to talk to them about how God created them, and so He's given that little bit of Himself to the kids, and that's where this joy for creating comes from, and seeing them kind of connect with that. But I think the thing that's made the biggest impression on me has been just how many people in the community has been involved.
Last year, I was in the very last stages of my pregnancy, so I wasn't able to actually be here for art camp that week. So I did come the final night, the open house night, when all the parents come to see their children's work, and it was just a really exciting time to walk into the building and see over half of the parents and people in the building visitors.
Yesterday at lunch at Payway, a friend of David's that's been bringing their child to art camp for a couple of years stopped me and said, "Oh, are you doing art camp this year? Didn't know if you would do that with the baby, and my kids can't wait to sign up." And so it's just constantly stuff like that, and I think that's just a neat way for us to impact this community for God.
This year, as we're planning for art camp, a friend of mine called 2 weeks ago and said, "When's art camp going to be?" And I said, "The first week of August." And she said, "Oh, that's our vacation." And you know, didn't say anything, and a few days later she called back and said, "We're going to change that vacation because we really want to be at art camp, and our kids look forward to it every year." So it's pretty amazing to see that parents are willing to change their plans to come, and they're ready and waiting for the day to sign up already.
What we're doing is leaving an impression on them that we love and care about their kids, that God loves and cares about their kids, and that Kingwood Church of Christ might be a place that they could bring their kids and learn about God if that's what they're looking for.
We need all the helping hands we can get. When you bring 200 children into a building and you are doing arts and crafts with 200 children, it gets very messy, but it's a lot of fun.
So what we're needing right now is to get as many members involved as we can to lead those things where they're directly interacting with kids, or the things that take a little bit more preparation, although we do a lot of that. We try to make it really, really easy for people to get involved. That way we can have these 200 kids that we want to have. What we're trying to do right now while we're doing recruiting so early is to know that we have these volunteers in place so we don't have to turn away any kids like we did last year.
It's just a fun week. You get to meet a lot of kids that you would not normally obviously meet from the community. You get to just be a kid yourself and do arts and crafts, and for me that's something I love. So you just get to go in and have fun with them and watch them create and help them create. Every year I look forward to it, and it's just a whole lot of fun to get in there and meet the kids and have a positive influence on them, and hopefully, you know, plant a little seed that God will use later in life.
Oh, I'll do my best for you.